Pasajero, that should have been the collision point, because that would then make, for your claim to be true, they would have to make that the collision point there, because that limits the travel from that point there. They always line the front of the tin can hammer with the angle. So if they lined it with that angle there, they'd marked accidentally 49 degrees when it was actually 41 degrees, according to your claim. Then that should have been the end point. That should have been the collision point. So that front face has travelled 41 degrees, marked as 49 degrees for some bizarre reason. But in actual fact, it went a further 8 degrees uphill. So really what they should have been doing is measuring how far that bar travels, the centre of mass, as it would be when this has got some mass on it, you know, like the clay. Sorry, I'm knocking things over. Once you've got clay on it and what have you. That means also that the 90-degree mark should have been, they again lined the front face of the tin can hammer with the 90-degree mark. They lined that up like that, when really it should have been like that, so that the centre of mass bar, the axis, was lined up with 90 degrees. Yes, that's obvious, isn't it? That if you want to drop this from 90 degrees, then that radius, you line that up with 90 degrees, don't you? And you sweep it through to 0, and that's a full 90 degrees drop, isn't it? Please don't argue about that. Please. That's 90 degrees. That bar lined up with the 90-degree mark to that 0 line there, that's 90 degrees, isn't it? Discounting their yellowed centre line that you claim, and you're probably right, is, you know, a distraction, and that really is the axis point. But in that case, when they lined that up with 90 degrees, they should have lined that up also with 41 degrees that they'd marked with 49 degrees for some strange reason. Why would they measure 49 degrees, Pasajero, from that point to there? Who in their right mind does that? You know, not even school kids do that, do they? So I don't think they really did that. I think they actually did measure 49 degrees and put the front face of the hammer there. So that was actually dropping from whatever that is. That was actually dropping from more like 60 degrees. I think they really had dropped it from 49 degrees. It was completely the wrong height. It gets worse, doesn't it? If they really had dropped it from 49 degrees, that was another 8 degrees higher, or whatever, something like that. It's now, what, 49 add 8? That'd be 57 degrees then, wouldn't it? So they'd be dropping it from 57 degrees then, wouldn't they? Because we're supposed to measure from this bar. Although in fairness, that would have also been 8 degrees higher. That would have been 98 degrees, not 90 degrees. So that was 98 degrees. That was 57 degrees if they really did use 49 degrees. Or at best, it was 49 degrees if they really did use 41 degrees but mark it as 49 degrees. And that should have been their end. That should have been their end point. That should have been their collision point. There. The front face of the hammer should have collided there. But it didn't. It collided 8 degrees further. It's just ridiculous. The whole thing is a mess. They obviously didn't drop it from the right height. That's why they got their clay compressions wrong.